More than 100 private photos of celebrities like Jennifer Lawrence and Kate Upton, all of them leaked online this week. The images were reportedly stolen from iCloud accounts, the same cloud you probably use every day, almost everybody does. Well, cybersecurity expert Jim Stickley joins me now via Skype to help us break this all down. Jim, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for being with us. You know, I think a lot of people are always worried when it comes to their security, but they figure this is my iCloud account. How can somebody get into this? And Apple spent 40 hours investigating and found it wasn't a security flaw on their end. So how did this even happen?
Well, I think there's still a gray area on whether they're going to call it a security flaw on their end. While they've said that, they also released a security patch within hours of it first becoming public to one of their programs, a program called Find My iPhone. So I think there's still the verdict out on whether it was their truly fault or not.
So what are some preventative measures that people can take when it comes to protecting whatever is on their phone, even if it's not connected to their iCloud account, if it's just sitting in their photo stream?
Sure. Well, I mean, on their phone itself, again, keep in mind, there's things like apps. And if you put an app on your phone, those apps have permissions. And if the permissions on that particular app says that it has access to your photos, it has access to your photos. And therefore, it could download those photos, possibly not even having you know it. So be aware, every time you use that phone and you take a picture of anything, there's always that risk somebody can see it. So you got to really think twice about what you're taking photos of.
Nevertheless, these were, and one of the celebrities said, these were photographs I took in the privacy of my own home with my husband. Should people not be allowed to take photographs? I mean, she said these have been deleted for a long time. I mean, what's the answer here? If it's been deleted, does it just exist in a place like the cloud? I mean, is it ever really disappear?
Well, again, they said it was deleted. It's probably deleted from their phone. But like that, if it's on iCloud, it's on iCloud until you've gone and removed it from there as well. And the odds are they were still on iCloud. Mm-hmm. And with iCloud, I mean, there's many different ways that you could get hacked through that. I mean, people forget that most of the time people will use one password for everything. And with iCloud, you log in with your email address and then your password. So if you had another account hacked somewhere else, a completely different company where you use the same login credentials, if a hacker gets those there, first thing they're going to do is try other accounts, and iCloud clearly being one of those. So you got to remember that you can't use the same password everywhere, because if you do, you're going to get hacked the same way.
You know what's so interesting is a lot of people don't realize how unsecure we are. I mean, the Wi-Fi in general. Just talk to me a little bit about what are ways that we can prevent people having access to our information, Wi-Fi being one of them.
It's so difficult. I mean, most of the time hacks come from things where it's either phishing or where they've gotten into your computer because, for example, Wi-Fi. If you go out on the internet and you're just walking around, let's say you go to a coffee shop and you get on Wi-Fi there, well, you really have no idea who's offering that Wi-Fi. It could be the coffee shop, or it could be a malicious hacker sitting out in the parking lot giving their own version. Well, the minute you're connecting through their Wi-Fi connection, they can now monitor everything you're doing. And that would include logging into accounts or anything else. So with everybody in the cloud nowadays, everybody's logging into these services that are online. If they're going through a malicious link, a malicious Wi-Fi access point, those criminals are able to capture all of your data.
My takeaway, if you want to take provocative photos, do the little disposable cameras. Just go old school.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of remember, like in the old days, if you wouldn't have turned it in to have it developed at like the local store, that's probably things you don't want to be having on your digital camera either.
There you go. Some lesson learned for some folks out there. All right, Jim Stickley, great to see you. Thanks for being with us.
All right, take care.